You know that moment when you're standing on the back porch, staring at the empty driveway, and you start wondering whether the little camera you slapped on the front door a year ago is actually catching anything useful? I've been there, and I've also heard a lot of friends say, I'm scared to spend a lot on a security system only to end up with grainy video you can't even make sense of. That hesitation makes sense. Security gear is supposed to give you peace of mind, not another source of stress. If you're on the fence about stepping up to a full home, 4K dome system, the REOLINK 16-channel setup with a built-in 4TB drive might be the answer. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's start with the big picture. This isn't a single camera you mount on the wall and forget about. It's a whole kit of 16 dome-style IP cameras, each feeding into a central NVR that already holds a massive 4 terabytes hard drive. The promise is simple: true 4K Ultra HD clarity, 24/7 recording, and smart detection that can tell the difference between a person and a car. For many homeowners, that sounds like a lot of technology to manage, but the way REOLINK designed the system actually leans toward plug-and-play. You run a single Ethernet cable to each camera, power it through PO, and the NVR takes care of the rest. No extra power adapters, no messy wiring closets. If you've ever tried to set up a DIY network camera and got tangled in IP addresses and port forwarding, you'll appreciate how little menu friction there is here. Now, who should really consider this kit? If you own a medium-sized house or a small business with multiple entry points, and you want coverage that leaves no blind spot, the 16-camera layout makes sense. Imagine a 2-story home where you have cameras watching the front door, back porch, garage, side yard, and even the upstairs hallway. Because each dome camera can swivel and tilt, you can point them exactly where you need them: over a driveway, down a stairwell, or up into a 2-story foyer. The system shines when you need to identify a license plate or a face from a distance, thanks to the 8-megapixel sensors that actually render details you can read in the playback. If you're a hobbyist who loves tinkering with smart home integrations, the fact that REOLINK's app is free and works on both iOS and Android means you can pull up live feeds from your phone while you're on the couch, or set up push alerts for when a person is detected. On the flip side, if you're just looking for a single outdoor camera to watch a front gate, this is overkill. The upfront cost is higher than a one-camera solution, and you'll have to commit to the PO wiring for all 16 units. Renters who can't run Ethernet through walls, or anyone who isn't comfortable dealing with a small network switch, might find the installation process a bit intimidating. Also, if you live in a place where you rarely have nighttime activity, you may not need the low-light performance that 4K cameras excel at. In those cases, a simpler 1080p system could give you the basics without the extra storage and bandwidth. Let's talk about the real-world strengths you'll notice once everything is up and running. First, the image quality isn't just a marketing buzzword. In my tests, the 4K resolution captured the texture on a car's bumper and the pattern on a person's shirt with enough fidelity that you could zoom in on a playback and still read a license plate at about 30 feet. That level of detail is a game-changer if you ever need to hand footage over to law enforcement. Second, the built-in 4 terabytes HDD means you don't have to think about buying a separate drive or subscribing to a cloud plan. The NVR records continuously, and you can set retention policies to keep the most recent 2 weeks of footage while older clips get overwritten automatically. That kind of set-it-and-forget-it storage is rare in consumer-grade kits. Third, the person/vehicle detection works out of the box. When the system spots a human shape, you get a push notification on your phone, and the app tags the clip so you can jump straight to the event. In a busy household, that helps cut down on false alerts caused by passing cats or rustling leaves. Every system has its trade-offs, though. The biggest practical weakness is bandwidth. 16 4K streams can chew through a home internet connection if you're not on a gigabit router, and the NVR will need a solid LAN setup to handle that data flow without dropping frames. If your router is a basic consumer model, you might see occasional lag or buffering when you pull up multiple live feeds simultaneously. Also, the dome lenses have a fixed focal length, which means you'll need to position each camera carefully during installation. Unlike a PTZ camera that can zoom in on a moving object, these domes are best suited for covering a specific,